Hello everyone, this is Zoltar, and welcome to another Offworld Trading Company campaign. This time, we're going to be trying out Scientific, and we're going to be trying out the Executive difficulty. I figured we'd just kind of keep ramping up. And I'm not really sure how this is going to go. Honestly, I wasn't planning on doing any more campaign, except people asked for it, and I figure I'll just give you guys what you want, if that's what you want to see. And you let me know? Sure, why not? So I'm kind of nervous about this one. For one thing, I'm bumping it up to Executive. I don't play a lot above Manager, just a little bit. And the rules are going to be different. I'm not going to have as much stuff. It's going to be harder, let's be honest. And the other thing is, the starting perk for the Scientist, I don't like very much. It's a free patent lab. And that's great in its own way. It's kind of like a free claim as well. And okay, yeah, I don't have to build it. It's not going to cost glass or things like that. But it also means I'm kind of bound into this patent lab idea, which means I'm going to have to try pretty hard to make good use of it throughout each game. And early on, that may not work very well because the games are so short, the patent lab doesn't have a lot of value. But all that said, maybe we can make something happen with it, and we'll just see how it goes. Now, obviously, as a scientist, I've got access to my production buildings, but no base resource gathering at this point, and actually no electronics either. Hopefully that'll all be okay, and we'll be able to make everything work, but it is something to keep in mind going forward. I'm tempted. So we can't afford something like a hacker array, which is very tempting to me, just to kind of force the market to be the way we want it to be and make the games easier. Can't afford it yet, though. We have some options. Let's go ahead and check what the missions are, and then we'll decide from there. Okay, plus 13 income and an underground nuke here under normal rules with rare resources. Something to... could be alright. Underground nukes could be particularly helpful. Okay, we've got an aluminum shipment, presumably on each headquarters upgrade, and income plus 29 here. That's pretty tempting, because aluminum's going to possibly end up being a big problem for us. We have free hydroponic farm here, not so interested in that. And an extra claim here, that's also potentially very valuable. I think I'm actually going to head here, though. Try and get this aluminum shipment, get this plus 29 income. That's a ridiculous amount. Hopefully we can make good use of it. And I think for our buildings, we are just going to grab up a steel mill engineer. Make those upgrades just a little bit easier. All right, I think we're ready to start the mission. Now I'm really wanting to found second here. So let's get a good look at the map before we even consider founding.
Low levels of aluminum found.
Okay. Nothing to...
Medium levels
okay, that's
of
better.
iron
Found a little iron. It's important to note. But we'll just keep checking around for the time being. Completely disregarding aluminum on the map right now, because we can't acquire it ourselves. So we're really kind of looking for good patches of iron and silicon.
That will be useful. High levels
Okay,
of iron
here we go.
found.
This is better. This is better for us. And it's enough iron we don't have to worry about throwing down early. There's probably some silicon down this way. Let's go ahead and check. Maybe not. Maybe I'm misreading what's exactly down here. It's hard to tell.
Low levels
Okay, yeah,
of
here we go.
silicon found.
Robotic colony founded.
All right, where was he? Can I tell? Come on, show me. Okay, yeah, he found it right in the middle of all that nonsense. That shouldn't be any big surprise whatsoever. That is so tempting, but I'm not going to do it. Obviously, the benefit to this would be I would collect a large amount of aluminum and I wouldn't have to worry as much, but I'm leaving myself stuck in this crater, which is maybe not the best idea. We'll just found on all this iron for the time being.
Well done on finding it. Now then, the day is ticking, and there is much research to be done.
Can't gather water either, which is worth noting. Hopefully not too big a deal. Now I need to keep in mind this is a very short mission. It's going to be an important thing to remember. And do I want to start using this immediately? Is an important question as well. What I'm looking at for power. Power's pretty good here. I could actually just go ahead and throw down a little bit right now. We want to encourage his aluminum acquisition. That's fine. What we can potentially do is once the black market's online, nuke his iron, and that might be quite beneficial for us. Also, there's not a lot of silicon on this map at all. Interesting. Well, we're always going to have to pay for this aluminum.
1,000.
Ooh.
New land is available for auction.
I don't really mind if he gathers silicon, actually. I don't really want to let it go for that cheap, because it's still a tile.
3,000.
So let's see if we can push it up a little bit.
5,000.
All right, I think I'll leave it there. Hopefully that works out all right. Significant amount of this. We'll go ahead and upgrade now.
Our growth is surpassing my most optimistic projections.
And I think we'll go ahead and take nanotech as well. Just make sure we're using this patent lab. Okay, he's going for electronics. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about it. It does reduce the amount of aluminum coming in, which is unfortunate. But we don't really have a good way to force him to bring in aluminum, so we'll just see how it goes. Just have to see how it goes. Okay. We can saw off a little more steel. A couple glass furnaces down. We might just want to put down all three, but we're not going to be selling a whole lot of glass to our opponent, so kind of leaning toward just the basic stuff we have right now. Let's see, he's also... It's really interesting playing against a robotic. He's not going to be bringing in water. He's not going to be bringing in food or anything. So water might end up being a bit of a problem for us. It's going to be an interesting game. Okay, we got nanotech, which could be useful. Hopefully will be useful. If nothing else, it lets me, if I want to, scrap the patent lab and put something else down. And actually get a little bit of cash out of it. Okay, still not possible to gather aluminum. So let's go ahead. Start with that. And I think we will also patent superconductor. And let's see, we need to sell off enough steel to buy off enough oxygen. Okay, a power shortage. That's unfortunate, but maybe we can use it. Okay. There we go. We're not selling off a whole lot of power at the moment, but at least this keeps him from selling off power more than we are when it's pricey. And maybe we'll be able to actually use the superconductor upgrade. Oh, a glass shortage. That's actually fantastic. As soon as the patent lab isn't working anymore, we should start gaining plenty of money off of power. Okay, I don't really want that spot. I doubt he wants that spot either. I'm never going to use it. Can we get 4,000 out of him? Okay, we can.
4,000.
I'll be surprised. I don't think he can actually even put anything on that tile that isn't like power generation. He's going to put power there. Interesting. I wonder if that'll be worth it. A surplus on aluminum. That is fantastic for us. That might save the game for us. Okay. We're actually going to sell all the steel, I think. I'm just going to buy as much aluminum as we can manage. There's another glass shortage. I don't know. Maybe the game pities us right now. Maybe that's what's going on. It's just like, here you go. I know this will be kind of difficult, so I'm just going to give it to you. Like, thanks, game. You're so nice. Okay. Water is a bit of a concern. It means we really want to finish this up before too long. Let's see. What can we do? I don't want to sell off any of the aluminum, right? We want to hold on to that. We're going to need that eventually. I think what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to scrap this, sell the little bit of glass I get from it, try and use, well, no, I don't want to buy into the chemical shortage. Sell off just a little bit. Come on. There we go. And I need more claims because I'm an idiot. I forgot what I was doing. Okay. What can we do? He's already bought 2 extra claims. I don't feel like we've had the cash for that, really, but maybe I'm wrong. I would love to knock out his power again. I think it's worth selling off a little of that aluminum. Okay, he defended, but we got 2 of them. What am I going to do with this
Revolting
tile?
colony expanded.
Ah, stop expanding. Another aluminum surplus. We're just waiting on this glass to come in eventually. It takes forever, but hopefully it'll get done before too long. Obviously we have a couple shipments coming in now. There we are.
Why?
Upgrade.
The new design for the colony layout is simply breathtaking. The other scientists will love the increased resources.
Okay. That's all we have from our current claims.
3,000,
Give me.
5,000, 8,000, 12,
Stop it. I want this.
14,000,
I'm not messing around with you.
18,000.
Alright, this is pretty risky. Hopefully we can make it pay off, though.
Sold!
Okay, let's see. Do we want to commit for another claim? I think we do. We just got teleportation. Glass isn't going to be nearly such the pain to gather that it just was.
The black market is online.
We could just upgrade also. I think we'll go that route.
Our
There.
growth is surpassing
Aluminum's real
most
cheap.
optimistic projections.
So I think we can get away with that. Slot some fuel, gather some aluminum, just in case I want one more upgrade. Get down the hydroponic farms. Unfortunately, we can't get any water. Iron shortage is fantastic. He probably has plenty of it, but so we won't buy into it, but we can sell off before too long. And with our last claim, we'll throw down a little more power next to our actual power. He is committing so hard into power. Well, I guess we'll wait for that to build and we'll hit it again. Okay, I really need to start looking at just finishing the game. That's where we need to be right now. I didn't. I got impatient. He defended again. Wow. Okay.
Revolting colony expanded.
I'm hoping we can do this. I'm just kind of going for it at this point. Thankfully, he expanded as he started buying me. It's a very odd little game. Very odd little game trying to play scientific campaign. And committing to teleportation was definitely a bit of a risk. But it gives me access to all this glass immediately. It gives me access to all this stuff immediately. It lets me save up this fuel. I don't have to spend money on it. It also makes my power generation more valuable. It forces him to keep throwing down more and more and more power. And eventually that'll run out of steam. Okay, do we have it yet? We're real close. That should do it. Huh. Bit of an odd game. I could have played it out better. There's no question about that. The patent lab start is interesting. It's interesting. I don't know what else to say about it. Realistically, interestingly enough, we were both on a bit of a timer that game because water was always going to be too expensive after the start. Neither of us could even gather water, right? And the colony would have eventually shrunk to the point where nobody was left because water was too expensive. That's interesting. That's why I'm not sure about the campaign. There are these little details that I'm not sure are good for the game, but I do find it interesting trying to solve it as like a puzzle to approach in its current form. How much power did he sell? He sold all the power. Shouldn't be any real surprise at all. He sold quite a bit of iron, which is weird because he was buying steel, but whatever. He also purchased, like, we can just look at what the robotics resources look like, and we can kind of see why I don't like robotic. His entire play was off power, right? if I'd been maybe a little more aggressive on power generation, he wouldn't have had literally anything, which is something I could have considered and should have considered. Because he was trying to make electronics. And if you think about it, he bought a whole bunch of carbon with that. Let's even take away what he sold of carbon. Assume he didn't sell carbon. That means he purchased $17,000 of carbon. He was only using that to make wind turbines and electronics. The wind turbines are totally understandable, but the electronics only made him $12,000. He's also spending aluminum, he's spending silicon on all of that. I don't know. Look, I think it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. It was a nice little start. We kind of got to see how our games are generally going to play out. I'll do better next time, I promise. I don't play a lot of scientific, so this is a little bit of exploration for me as well as entertainment for you guys. That's going to do it for this episode, though. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'll see you next time.